And this is a must-do when you're trimming and shaping your macrame fringe. It's Nicole here and welcome back to BOCHIKNOT Macrame. I'm super excited to be sharing with you guys tip number 3 on how to get the perfect macrame fringe. So in tips 1 and 2, we went over how to prep the fringe so that it makes it easier down the line to brush and also cut and trim the fringe. But then also how you can get rid of those curls and crimps within your cords if that is an issue you find. In tip number 3, we are preparing to shape and trim the fringe, but before we do that, we must go through this particular step. So make sure you guys watch through and see what that is. You do have to do that part well to save you time in shaping and trimming your fringe. I will also be introducing one of the most important tools that I use in getting the perfect macrame fringe. If you guys are interested in advancing your macrame skill set and learning more intricate knotting techniques, helpful tips and tricks, and best practices for your macrame journey, we do release a macrame lesson weekly to our BOCHIKNOT Macrame community on Patreon, and that is where we work on a theme on a monthly basis and then also tailor our weekly macrame lessons to that theme. And without further ado, let's begin. Before starting any shaping of the fringe, you have to make sure that the fringe is combed through very well. That means combing all the way through the fringe from the start to the bottom, starting right underneath the bottom of the pattern. Depending on the type of single strand, you should be able to comb through the fringe fairly easily with just a few brush throughs. If you are using 3-ply like I am here, then you have to pay attention to tip number 1 we had mentioned before, where you have to unravel the individual strands first before combing through the fringe. This prevents any knots from happening and also makes it so much quicker to brush through the fringe. Brushing out the fringe so that it is nice and straight and fluffy makes it way easier to shape and then hold its shape afterwards. After you have brushed out your fringe and before you start shaping your fringe, this is what the fringe should look like. The fringe should be straight without any twists, and they should be combed out from the start all the way to the bottom. And that concludes tip number 3 in getting the perfect macrame fringe. I know this tip may seem obvious to many of you, but it is a very important step before we start trimming and cutting our fringe. A lot of times I comb through my fringe a few times and then start trimming right away, but that is less efficient because you will find yourself recombing and retrimming more. And we don't want to do that, since we could go on forever trying to get the perfect fringe by just doing that over and over again. So it is definitely important to make sure you've combed your fringe from the start of the fringe all the way through the bottom, so that when you go ahead and shape and trim your fringe, you won't have to go back as much to rebrush and retrim your fringe. We have 2 more tips left in this series. Make sure you guys stay tuned and click that subscribe button, and also turn on bell notifications if you guys haven't already, to make sure that you get notified when the video comes out. As always, let me know if you guys have any questions or comments in the comment section below. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.